This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Tuesday, May 19th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
As some of the restrictions are going to be relaxed a little bit, people are going to want to visit some of their favorite restaurants.
As restaurants in the Circle City prepare to reopen, the city is hoping to drum up some business. This morning, the plan they're considering to give restaurants plenty of room to enjoy their favorite dishes. Doctors are on alert this morning as the state sees its first case of a rare inflammatory disease.
I'm doing well. Mostly. Going a little stir crazy, but mostly well. Keeping my spirits up.
Plus, getting unemployment benefits continues to be a struggle for lots of Hoosiers. This morning, we're following Hoosiers as they wait for their next payday. And it is 6 o'clock here on our Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. We continue social distancing with Todd Clausen and Rafael Sanchez reporting from home for us today. Rafael, good morning to you down in Franklin.
Lauren, good morning to you. I was afraid, Todd Clausen, that I was going to have to build an ark based on your initial forecast yesterday. As you know, there's a creek behind my home. We usually flood. Luckily, right, the rain's going to slow down today, right?
Yeah, you know, it's not going to be as heavy. That's the good news, Rafael. The heaviest is going to stay off to our east in Ohio, so I think you'll be okay in there in Johnson County. And for those of you that were under the flash flood watch by the National Weather Service yesterday, that has been dropped. Now, you're still going to get rain, and the heaviest is still going to be across the eastern portion of Indiana, but they're not expecting the 1 to 2 inch rain totals that were possible at this point yesterday. Right now, there's some light showers to the north, Frankfort up to Kokomo, over towards Clarks Hill, down into the Darlington area. But you do notice some heavier rain near Dayton as well as Cincinnati. That will be moving towards Richmond and eventually up towards the Muncie area here throughout the morning hours. So that's why I say while we're not expecting as heavy of rain as we were at this point yesterday, we're still going to get into some decent rainfall totals there in eastern Indiana. It's just part of this big overall slow-moving area of low pressure. And while this area of low pressure is around, we're going to keep the showers in the forecast throughout the day. In fact, they become a little more numerous later on this afternoon and this evening compared to this morning. And with the showers and the clouds around, temperatures don't do a whole lot throughout the day today. We're sitting right around 60 degrees right now. We'll eventually see our high temperature this afternoon. That will get up to right around 66 degrees, which will put us just a little bit below normal. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Taking a look at traffic here for your Tuesday, we are still monitoring an overturned semi. This is impacting northbound lanes of I-65 near State Road 47. So here's a look right now in Lebanon near US 52, a little south of that incident. If you're traveling northbound, you'll want to get off here, take US 52 northbound to avoid any major delays for your commute. We'll continue to keep you updated and let you know when the lanes reopen in that area this morning. But again, as of right now, northbound lanes of I-65 north of State Road 47 closed for an overturned semi. The time now, 6:03. Want to get you caught up on how COVID-19 and the outbreak is impacting Hoosier families. The State Department of Health reports 492 new COVID-19 cases. More than 28,000 Hoosiers have tested positive so far for the coronavirus. The state also confirms 14 new deaths. More than 1,600 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19 in Indiana. The state says 16% of Indiana's intensive care unit beds are still available. This morning, more than 80% of the state's ventilators are also available. Well, today, Indianapolis leaders will outline new measures aimed at helping Marion County businesses reopen safely when they're allowed to do so.
And Lauren, that plan calls for Marion County restaurants to open this Friday, but only for outdoor dining.
Yes, our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with a plan that could let more places set up outside dining. Kelsey, let's check in with you and see what this all means for those business owners. All right, it looks like we do have some problems with Kelsey's
Hey, yeah,
shot.
good.
All right, go ahead, Kelsey. We're having some issues with your shot there, but we'll go ahead and send it out to you.
Hey, good morning. So yeah, we're out here on Mass Ave right now. And here at Brew Burger, you can see they do have an outdoor patio that I'm sure many of you guys have enjoyed a burger or two on. And that means they can open up on Friday. But just across the street and up and down Mass Ave, there are dozens of restaurants without outdoor seating, meaning at the current rate, they would not be able to open up on Friday. That's why the city is throwing around the plan of closing down these streets to cars and having tables and chairs outside instead of vehicles. Indianapolis City County Councilor Zach Adamson says city leaders are exploring ideas to help restaurants bring in customers, allowing them to dine and stay socially distant through outdoor seating. Adamson says a number of streets are being considered for closure, including Mass Ave from Delaware to College Avenue, the southern half of Monument Circle, Georgia Street from Illinois to Pennsylvania Street, Illinois Street from Georgia Street to Market, and Broad Ripple Avenue from the Monon Trail to College Avenue.
People are going to want to be outside, and as some of the restrictions are going to be relaxed a little bit, people are going to want to visit some of their favorite restaurants and things. And I think that this is the city's response to what we anticipate the public will have as an expectation.
Again, as of right now, Marion County restaurants will be allowed to open this Friday, but only for outdoor dining. This plan will allow more restaurants who don't already have outdoor seating to open. Now, that virtual news conference today with the mayor is at 10:30, and of course, we will live stream it for you on Facebook and on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The time now is 6:05. Indiana state health officials say Indiana has its first confirmed case of a serious illness possibly connected to COVID-19. And here are the details this morning. Multi-system inflammatory syndrome, it impacts children. The symptoms include fever, rash, and abdominal pain, vomiting, and swelling of the hands and feet. The syndrome is similar to another illness called the Kawasaki disease. This morning, State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Box is asking both doctors and parents to be on alert.
We've asked hospitals to report suspected cases to us as we can investigate and learn more about COVID-19 and how that may be impacting our younger people. We also need parents to watch for persistent fever in their children and contact their pediatrician if the child appears more seriously ill.
Right now, doctors say the syndrome is rare and most children recover.
Well, the pandemic may be impacting the health and safety of children in a different way. Calls to the state's child abuse hotline are down 40% compared to April of 2019. It's a problem RTV6 first told you about back in March. The director of Indiana Department of Child Services announced this trend on Monday. Terry Stigdon says this does not mean fewer children are being harmed. She blames the drop on the fact that children are not in school and they're not being seen by school employees, who are typically the people who suspect abuse. So she's asking for your help.
We have a collective responsibility to support families and keep children safe. We must come together to care for those in our communities who need us. Reach out to those who may be struggling. Offer to help.
Now, offering to help can mean sharing a kind word or helping a stressed neighbor with groceries. If you suspect child abuse or neglect, you can report it. Just call the number 1-800-800-5556. The time right now is 6:07. A local hospital is working to make sure that their personal protective equipment lasts as long as possible.
And Lauren, this morning, Arlissa Donovan has details on a disinfection process created by the staff at IU Health. Alyssa, good morning.
Well, IU Health has plenty of N95 masks right now. They wanted to find a way to make sure that personal protective equipment can last as long as possible, especially now that the stay-at-home orders are being lifted.
As the state is opening up, we're all kind of collectively holding our breath to see how having more people out and about, how that's going to impact our numbers at the hospital.
And having this disinfecting equipment in place is giving nurses and other hospital staff peace of mind in case there is another increase in COVID-19 patients.
IU Health has a very good supply of N95 masks, and this is just allowing us to be a little more proactive in making sure our supply is safeguarded.
These UV sterilizers were being used daily in patient rooms for cleaning. Dr. Nathan Alves, assistant professor of emergency medicine at IU School of Medicine, built this system with PVC pipes. Alves says hospitals across the country are using various techniques to disinfect and reprocess masks.
And it depends on where you are and what you have access to. We had access to these room sterilization towers already. They were purchased in response to some of the Ebola stuff a few years back.
The system is currently used to disinfect N95 masks for Methodist, Riley, and university hospitals.
So each nurse gets that and they put that up to their face and they form that to get a good fit. And she puts her name and the unit that she's working on. And then when she's done with that mask at the end of her shift, she puts it in a brown paper sack.
A sterile processing team then picks up the masks and puts them on the rack where the mask gets radiated for a half an hour. The mask is put in a white bag and returned to its unit. At this point, N95 masks are only being used for specific procedures, so the system is not used at capacity. If it was, it could sterilize 3,000 masks a day. The process allows one N95 mask to be worn up to 4 times by a hospital staff member. That's opposed to before, when they could only wear a mask once before it had to be thrown away. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Hundreds of Hoosier families continue to wait for their unemployment benefits. New at 6:15, we catch up with one family as they continue to wait for the payday. Todd.
And Lauren, we've been dealing with some light scattered showers overnight and now into the morning hours, but some heavier rain just now getting ready to enter the state from Ohio. It's going to be working its way in from east to west. You see it there on the right-hand portion of your screen. We'll talk about these showers, how long they're going to stick around, and look ahead to your Memorial Day forecast as well coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:10. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
RTV6 Hiring Hoosiers partner.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:13. Here's a live look right now at traffic. This is I-65 near US 52. This is up in the Lebanon area, and you can see some flashing lights there on your screen. A heads up, we're still monitoring an overturned semi north of this area. It's actually north of State Road 47, but if you're traveling northbound on 65, you want to reroute, you can take US 52. It runs northbound along the interstate there. It won't create too much of a delay for your commute. And then as you get up into the area, I would say at about State Road 26, in the area, 28 rather, you can take that westbound over to reconnect with the I-65 northbound lanes to continue on with your morning drive. Well, the Rebound Indiana is our commitment here at RTV6 to make sure that you get through this pandemic.
And Lauren, as you know, our team, whether it's Kara Kenny or Stephanie Wade or Megan Santorum, all of us have been in contact with the state agency that issues those unemployment benefits. And here at RTV6, we're also following 6 people through their unemployment claims process. All of these folks work in the hospitality industry, which is among the hardest hit, as you know. Of the 6, 5 have filed for unemployment. This morning, a widowed mother of 2 riding out this major economic storm.
Come on, guys, you got this.
Erin Ridout is spending more time with her children enjoying nature.
We like to spend a lot of time together outdoors.
Since the pandemic, they've explored several state parks, including Turkey Run, Clifty Falls, and Fort Bend.
No more movies. I mean, really, the things my kids and I would do on my days off, they're not an option anymore.
We met Erin as she waited to get a care package of food from her employer, Crystal Catering.
I'm doing well. Mostly going a little stir crazy, but mostly well. Keeping my spirits up.
It's that sound of happiness that makes the difficult days feel like a walk in the park. In July 2016, her husband passed away, so receiving a widow's benefit and strict budgeting are helping since being laid off.
I budget well. I budget really well.
She also says cheap gas prices are making it easier to travel to their next family adventure. While these moments provide peace of mind, she says she's ready for the day she gets the call to return to work. And Erin tells me this morning that she had received her benefits within the 21 days that she applied, which is the state average of received for many people. And we are hearing many of your concerns about the benefits. The team shares those concerns with the state as soon as we receive them. So we will keep on top of this developing story.
All right, Raphael, thank you so much for that. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for some sunshine, some warmer weather, maybe not too hot. Todd, what can you do for us today?
That sounds like you on San Diego here in central Indiana, Lauren. We do have some rain here in central Indiana this morning, but there's a little bit of everything in this forecast for everybody, I think, as I'll show you your 7-day planning forecast in just a second. But here is what we are dealing with right now. We have some light rain showers that have made their way up into the Lafayette area, as well as Frankfort over towards Crawfordsville. These went through downtown Indianapolis earlier with a little bit of a light rain, and there's still a few spotty showers in and around the metro area. But look at this heavier rainfall now that's just now starting to make its way into the Richmond area, into Liberty, as well as Connorsville as well. And this is actually backing into the state from east to west. A little unusual. Usually when we track some rain, we're talking about rain coming from west to east, or it's sliding in at least somewhat of an easterly component. Not the case here today. Centerville, by about 6:21, you'll start to get into some heavier rain showers, and then eventually over towards Cambridge City, there in Wayne County, you'll be getting into some heavier showers within the next half hour as well. Some heavier rain near Cincinnati, and all that is going to be working its way into our area throughout the morning hours from east to west. So throughout the day today, we're going to have showers. They become more numerous as we get into the afternoon hours. And the center of low pressure, which is causing all this rain, is sitting just down to our south. So all this rainfall is going to be moving up and around this area of low pressure right here into central Indiana. The way the rain will come to an end is that we are going to see this area of low pressure finally make its way off towards the east, but that is not going to happen until tomorrow. So until then, rain is in the forecast for us off and on throughout the day. I think we avoid the real heavy rainfall that was there, the potential at least yesterday, and that's why the National Weather Service has dropped that flash flood watch that was in effect. But as we progress through TrueCast, you notice basically all day parts today there will be the threat of rainfall. So if you are running errands, I would have the rain gear handy. If you're looking for a quick walk in the neighborhood, definitely check the Storm Shield app in the interactive radar that you can find there, or some other radar, and you will be able to kind of time out your walks here and there. Rainfall totals about a half an inch again from Indianapolis across most of the areas to the east. Could be some higher totals right along the state line there, up and over 1 inch. Temperatures right now are in the 50s and 60s. We'll go up to about 66 degrees as we work our way into the afternoon hours. Temperatures won't move a whole lot. Tomorrow, most of the rain is gone. It kind of dries itself out, but we still have the clouds and a temperature of 62 degrees. And then just for Lauren Casey and everybody else that is looking for the warmer temperatures as we get towards Memorial Day weekend, here is the warmth. A little bit of humidity sneaks in as well, and there will be the chance of a few spotty storms over the course of the weekend, but a lot of dry hours. It's only about a 30% chance of storms in the forecast over Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if the Indy 500 would have been happening on cue on Sunday, it would have been a warm race for us with the chance of some spotty storms. But obviously that will be in August now, but we'll have very warm temperatures all the way through the holiday weekend. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much, and I appreciate the timing for the weekend there. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads. This is the one issue we're still monitoring this morning. It's on I-65, the northbound lanes. You can't see it here from this view. This is our camera at US 52 in Lebanon. But as you travel northbound here, north of this spot, up past State Road 47, we still have an overturned semi blocking the lanes of I-65 northbound. So here at US 52, this would be a good spot to reroute. You want to take US 52 northbound. It runs sort of alongside the interstate to the east. Then we get to State Road 28, north of the semi crash. You can take that back westbound, reconnect with the northbound lanes, and that should get you on your way this morning. We'll continue to keep our eyes on this spot and let you know when everything is back open. Raphael?
Yeah, it looks a little messy out there. Take your time in that section of the road. Wow, the time now is 6:20 here on Good Morning Indiana. Mass Avenue restaurants and shop owners, they're working together as they start to get back to business. And Friday, of course, will be a big day here in Indianapolis. Amanda Maurer-Taflinger, she owns Homespun, which sells handmade crafts as well as accessories. Now that retail restrictions are starting to ease up, she hopes people remember why they love shopping and dining on Mass Avenue. A new social media campaign is meant to help jog customers' memories. You're encouraged to use the hashtag #IMissMassAve to support local businesses in that popular area.
If people can remember to do things like post on social media and share their experiences with the small businesses on Mass Ave and anywhere else in the city, and write reviews, positive reviews about the businesses they love. Like, that really helps.
Yeah, so don't forget to support local wherever you live in central Indiana. Homespun plans to open in the next week or so. For more information about the I Miss Mass Avenue campaign, click on this story in the RTV6 app. Meat and produce are already costing you more at the grocery store. So new at $6.27, we're looking at if the same items could also increase your bill at the restaurant. Lauren?
Well, basketball great Magic Johnson is giving a big assist to minority-owned businesses. His life insurance company is poised to give $100 million to fund small business administration loans. Coming up on GMA, Johnson will go one-on-one with Robin Roberts in a live interview.
And that all starts at 7 a.m. right here on RTV6. This is simply eye-opening. The annual health costs for a person with diabetes is more than 2 times higher than a person without diabetes. RTV6 is a proud partner for this year's American Diabetes Association's Indiana Tour de Cure, and this year it's going virtual on June the 6th. So we encourage everyone to get active by walking, running, or cycling. This morning, a big good morning to Mechanicstown, McCordsville, and Mooresville. The time now is 6:22. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday, right here on RTV6.
Welcome back. It is 6:25. Raphael, it is time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So let me take you to Virginia, where a much-deserved recognition for a student body's best friend is going down. You got to meet this honorary person who's now getting an honorary doctorate in veterinary medicine. The therapy dog's name is Moose. That's right, Moose at Virginia Tech. The 8-year-old lab retriever has been a therapy dog at the Cook Counseling Center since 2014, helping students cope with things like anxiety, trauma, and other mental health issues. Now, that's a good boy, and please call him Dr. Moose.
Dr. Moose. All right, a Maryland pub is making sure that diners social distance. The restaurant owner bought these bumper tables for customers to use once the bars and restaurants are allowed to reopen. The tables are custom made with an inner tube and wheels, and they guarantee to keep customers 6 feet apart. Customers stand in the middle, but they're able to walk around and chat while maintaining a safe distance from others. I think we need these here at RTV6, Raphael, and you can join me back in the studio.
Well, I would love to see that on Mass Avenue, right?
Yeah.
So when all the restaurants open in Indianapolis, I'd like to see somebody. That'd be kind of fun just to do that in downtown Indianapolis. We're fun. Hey, so the answer the call for help 24/7. Our hometown heroes today are the members of the Indianapolis Emergency Medical Services, EMS. These are just a few members of that big team that provide health care every day in our city. A big shout out to them and all in this field, as this is also National EMS Week. A big thank you again to them. Now let's check in with your forecast with our very own Todd Clausen. Good morning, TK.
Yeah, Raphael, we're dealing with some rain showers here throughout the day today. And today's probably going to be a fairly wet day in our forecast, or at least the wettest day I have in our forecast going forward. With that said, we probably avoid thunderstorms and we probably avoid real heavy rainfall, but there are some bands of moderate rainfall just now making their way into the Richmond area. And that band of rain that stretches from Richmond back towards Cincinnati and Dayton is going to overspread, especially the northern half of central Indiana. But you do notice also just south of Indianapolis here, some showers flaring up in the last hour or so. So these will clip the metro area. The bottom line is today you have to have the umbrella handy. It's just very unsettled. You notice the big swirl. This area of low pressure is going to be in control. Unfortunately for the day today, the flash flood watch, though, has been dropped. So that is good news. With temperatures today, that'll be topping off in the mid to upper 60s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, you're already paying more for meat and produce at the grocery stores, but you could also be paying more at restaurants. Working for you, John Matarese explains the latest addition to your receipt so you don't waste your money.
The price of beef and chicken is high enough these days. Well, now some restaurants are starting to add COVID-19 surcharges to your bill, and other businesses are starting to do it as well. Meat prices are up nearly 10% in just the past month, according to a new government report. It's because of processing plant shutdowns and trucking disruption. Now, a report in Business Insider says restaurants are starting to add surcharges of a couple of dollars to diners' bills. A tweet about a Japanese restaurant's COVID surcharge went viral last week. But restaurants defend the practice, saying they need it to stay in business, given soaring beef costs. Some doctor and dentist office and even hair salons, meantime, have also been adding COVID surcharges for all the personal protective equipment and plexiglass dividers they have to buy. If you come across a particularly outrageous COVID surcharge, let the restaurant owners know how you feel about it so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. One person is dead, another in the hospital after a shooting on the west side of Indianapolis. Police were called just before 10 o'clock last night to West St. Clair Street in Belmont. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. Officers tell us the person taken to the hospital is in stable condition.
Now let's take you to Shelby County. The former boys basketball coach at Shelbyville High School has been charged with stealing money from a booster club. Ryan Mack is accused of taking at least $750 from the Golden Bear Booster Club over a 2-year period. Mack had resigned suddenly from the school back in January for what he said were personal reasons.
The Colts are expected to reopen their practice facility as soon as today. It's the first day the NFL is allowing teams to open back up as long as they follow the COVID-19 guidelines for their state and local governments. Coaches are not allowed in the buildings to help maintain competitive balance, and no more than 50% of the team staff can be at the team's facility.
It's a tough break for the Girl Scouts of Central Indiana. The group says it will have to cancel all day camps and resident camps for the summer because of COVID-19 restrictions. The Girl Scouts say they do plan to offer in-person opportunities they're calling Lead Your Own Adventure Days at their camp properties that's starting in June.
The recent heavy rains led to a dangerous current on Eagle Creek. 3 kayakers learned that the hard way on Monday. They became stuck on a sandbar near West Washington Street and Tibbs Avenue. Crews from the Wayne Township Fire Department went to the creek by boat and pulled one of the kayakers off the sandbar. The other 2 made it to shore on their own. Crews say they were all 3 okay, other than being wet and cold. All right, it is 6:31. I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
Good morning, and I'm Rafael Sanchez here in Johnson County in my living room. And our living room cam, Todd Clausen, shows no rain in Franklin as I look outside the window. So what is the rain outlook for Central Indiana today?
You know, Rafael, we're going to be dealing with rain showers off and on, and if you keep looking, I guarantee at some point today you will see some rain outside your window. Probably not heavy enough there in Johnson County to cause any flooding issues, which is good news, but there could be some minor flooding issues on the far eastern side of the state. So everything this morning is pretty spotty in nature. The coverage of the rain showers ramps up as we get into the afternoon and eventually evening hours. Here's a current look at radar, and you notice there's more and more green starting to appear, and the yellows that you see near Richmond, that's some moderate rainfall, and everything this morning and really throughout much of the day is going to be making its way from southeast to the northwest. So it's a little bit unusual as far as the direction of the rain coming in compared to what we normally see. Most of the time it's coming from some sort of westerly component moving to the east, but it's all spinning counterclockwise here around this area of low pressure that is just down to our south. So rain chances off and on throughout the day today with the clouds and the rain. Temperatures a little bit below normal, but honestly not terrible. You remember last week when we had the rain, it was only in the 40s. At least today we're looking at highs, Lauren, anywhere between 65 and 70 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Looks a little messy up here in the Boone County area. This is I-65 in Lebanon, where we are monitoring an overturned semi. Crews are working to clear north of this area, so use caution. You can head over to US 52, take that as a detour northbound through this area and reconnect from State Road 28 to the northbound I-65 lanes. We'll continue to monitor this spot. You can see traffic, though, is building and starting to slow down just a bit. Rafael?
The time now is 6:33. There are new details this morning in the fight against COVID-19 inside the Johnson County Jail here in Franklin. The sheriff tells me the facility will be installing what he calls hydroxyl machines in the jail in the days to come. The machines don't prevent COVID-19, but they help with air purification and help with sanitation within the jail. The sheriff had 231 inmates tested for COVID-19, 104 tested positive, 127 negative. 9 refuse testing. The facility, as you can imagine, is operating under tight hygiene rules, including the wearing of masks as well as temperature checks for inmates.
It's a struggle right now, and we're doing everything we can do to keep people safe. I mean, it's unfortunate. You know, the White House has it. They can kind of tell who comes into that building, but it's very rough for me to limit the people that come into my facility that's been arrested.
So in addition to his efforts, the State Department of Health has visited the jail and educated the inmates on precautions that they need to take. County judges have also been made aware of the situation at the facility to help maintain the inmate population.
Well, Raphael, today Indianapolis leaders will outline new measures aimed at helping Marion County businesses reopen safely when they're allowed to do so. As of right now, Marion County restaurants will be allowed to open this Friday, but only for outdoor dining. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with a plan that could let more places set up dining outdoors. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So we're here on Mass Ave, and you look over here, Dancing Ann. She's lonely this morning. She is ready for people to be back out here on Mass Ave. And the rules right now say that people have to sit outside to dine in, technically, but World of Beer does not have any tables or chairs, just like other restaurants along Mass Ave and other roads in Marion County. So the city is proposing a plan to shut down roads, again, like Mass Avenue, to car traffic and putting tables and chairs out here. Indianapolis City County Councilor Zach Adamson says city leaders are exploring ideas to help restaurants bring in customers, allowing them to dine and stay socially distant through outdoor seating. Adamson says a number of streets are being considered for closure. That includes Mass Ave from Delaware to College Avenue, the southern half of Monument Circle, Georgia Street from Illinois to Pennsylvania Street, Illinois Street from Georgia Street to Market, and Broadville Avenue from the Monon Trail to College Avenue.
This is an ongoing process. The city is just trying to really react as quickly as we can to address some of the need that we have in these main commercial corridors, restaurants especially.
Again, as of right now, Marion County restaurants will be allowed to open this Friday, but only for outdoor dining. The city hopes that this plan will allow more restaurants who don't already have outdoor seating to open. Now, that virtual news conference today with city leaders is at 10:30. We'll, of course, have it live for you on the Facebook page and on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The time now is 6:36. The emotional toll of coronavirus's pandemic is different for everyone. The Rebound Indiana is our commitment to you to make sure you have the resources you need to get through this pandemic with the things that you need to help you and your family. People and families like Kayla Swenson, she's trying to balance working from home with having kids cooped up in the home. She's a mom to a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Now, usually Kayla attends a mom's group at IU Health for support through in-person meetings, but they found a way to continue through virtual sessions. Group leader Cindy Love says many people need support now more than ever.
That added stress is something that none of us have had to deal with in the past. And that social isolation, I think, is the biggest problem that most moms are feeling. When you wake up, a lot of people are saying it's like Groundhog Day. You know, you wake up and every day looks the same.
When she said that they were going to do virtual, I was really excited because it brought back an element of normal back into our lives.
You can find more of these resources in this story on our website, theindychannel.com or the RTV6 app.
It is 6:37. The pandemic has caused some Indiana fairs and events to either cancel or find other alternatives. Bartholomew County says they're going to try and take their 4-H fair online. The event is scheduled for July 10th, and it will be virtual for all 4-H projects. Organizers say they were concerned that having the fair as planned would jeopardize the health of 4-H members and volunteers. They also said it would be difficult to meet the safety guidelines, including the temperature checks and tracking.
As they continue to fight COVID-19, one hospital is making sure that their protective personal equipment lasts as long as possible. Alyssa Donovan has more on a disinfection process created by the staff at IU Health. Alyssa, good morning.
The system created by IU Health staff is making a safer environment for both hospital workers and their patients. It's also making personal protective equipment last longer. These UV sterilizers were already on hand at IU Health. They were purchased a few years ago in response to the Ebola virus. Now they're being used to disinfect N95 masks. Dr. Nathan Alves used PVC pipes to hang the masks on. He also performed extensive testing to ensure the right amount of radiation was being used to properly remove bacteria from the masks. Now each one can be worn up to 4 times by a hospital staff member. The process is key in being able to reuse the personal protective equipment.
So it's necessary because once the mask is used for like an aerosolizing procedure or a known COVID positive patient, you have COVID on the outside of it. And so when you have it on the outside of it, you don't want to have secondary contaminations.
Right now, N95 masks are only being used for specific procedures, so the system is not used at capacity. If it was, it could sterilize 3,000 masks a day. IU Health has plenty of N95 masks right now. They say this system just allows them to ensure that their supplies will last as long as possible. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. The time right now is 6:39. He's suspended right now, but it looks like he's still the Attorney General. Next, the state Supreme Court weighs in on whether he could have lost his job for good.
A cheer for old Notre Dame, and the school says you'll also be able to do so on the school's campus. Coming up, how the Gold and Blue plan to reopen from the pandemic this fall. The time now is 6:39. We thank you for starting your day with Good Morning Indiana.
Welcome back. It is 6:42. Covering the State House this morning, the Indiana Supreme Court is denying a request for clarification of its decision to suspend Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill.
And so here are the details. The 30-day suspension of Hill's law license is now in effect over allegations of sexual misconduct involving a state lawmaker and 3 other women. Now, the court said in its ruling that it would be inappropriate for it to respond to the governor's request for clarification regarding the suspension. The governor filed legal papers asking the court if Hill was automatically disqualified from holding the office once the suspension took effect and if Hill would still practice law. The court said the questions that the governor asked were outside the scope of the court's decision. Hill named his chief deputy as a temporary replacement. He has denied the allegations and was not charged in the case.
Well, the BMV closed branches for nearly 2 months over the COVID-19 concerns and restrictions. 128 branches have now opened, but the demand for transactions that can only be made in person at the branches is intense. So here's what you need to know before you go. You must make an appointment. The bookings are currently being accepted through June 13th. You can make an appointment at any branch, not just the one that's closest to where you live. Branches are open 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. We have a list of services available and a link to the BMV scheduling site. That's all at theindychannel.com.
The time now is 6:43. The Fighting Irish are ready to get back on campus. The University of Notre Dame has announced its plans to reopen in the fall. The university's president sent students a letter explaining everything that would happen coming up in the fall. Students will return to the South Bend campus in early August, with the fall semester ending before Thanksgiving. That Monday letter also said that the school's reopening plan includes comprehensive COVID-19 testing, contact tracing, quarantine, and isolation protocols. Social distancing and mask requirements will also be in place on the campus. And there was no mention of sports. Right now, Notre Dame is scheduled to open its football season against Navy in Ireland on August the 29th.
Well, they say they want to bring Mass Ave back, at least as much as they can. Next, the social media campaign being used to safely get people back inside the shops there.
And Lauren, we know that tens of thousands of Hoosiers are looking for work right now. So up next, we'll take a look at only a few companies that are hiring Hoosiers. And we'll show you how you can find more places where the help wanted signs are out and about. But first, let's check in with your forecast with Todd Clausen. Good morning, Todd. TK?
Raphael, good morning to you. We're dealing with rain once again here this morning. In fact, the rain's going to pick up in coverage as the day goes on. Generally, the rainfall should be light to moderate across the area. We should avoid the heavy rainfall or the potential for severe weather. So that is definitely going to be good news for us as we work our way throughout the day today. We'll talk more about your extended forecast, which features a return to more summer-like weather coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:45.
It's at 5:30.
Welcome back. Mass Ave restaurant and shop owners are working together as they try and get business back. Amanda Maurer-Taflinger owns Homespun, which sells handmade crafts and accessories. Now that some restrictions are starting to ease up, Amanda is joining with other Mass Ave business owners on a new social media campaign. They want people to share the hashtag #IMissMassAve to support local businesses on the popular strip.
If people can remember to do things like post on social media and share their experiences with the small businesses on Mass Ave and anywhere else in the city, and write reviews, positive reviews about the businesses they love, like that really helps.
For more information about the I Miss Mass Ave campaign, you can go to theindychannel.com and click on this story. Well, it is our commitment to connect you to job opportunities through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative.
So this morning, let's make that job connection. This is our Hiring Hoosiers job feed. Let's start in Hamilton County, where Edge Guys Heating and Cooling in Carmel is looking for HVAC technicians and installers. You must have 5 years of experience.
Valenti Real Estate Services is hiring a maintenance technician to work in the Terre Haute area. They prefer a candidate with at least 1 year experience who also has a construction background.
Compass Residential and Consulting has 2 positions posted for a direct support professional in the Indianapolis area. You will serve as a teacher, a coach, and mentor with the aim to make a difference in the lives of people with disabilities.
MD Logistics in Plainfield is hiring a warehouse associate with experience in shipping, receiving, production, material handling, labeling, and packaging.
And no worry if you missed any of those jobs, because we have them all together with the links to the application process by going to our website, Hiring Hoosiers job board at hiringhoosiers.com. On this Tuesday, it is time for takeout, and Todd Clausen, I'm ready to head out the door here this morning, maybe visit the Willard or Main and Madison or maybe Benjamin's for a little breakfast. So what do you have this morning?
You know, it sounds good, and I'm taking you to Fat Dan's Chicago-style deli, Raphael, and one of the reasons why I picked this is there's multiple locations here across central Indiana, and we've been highlighting all these restaurants that have been open for carry-out through this pandemic. Of course, many restaurants, including some of the Fat Dan's locations, once you get outside of Marion County, are open for dining outside and 50% capacity inside. That includes the location they have up there in Carmel. Otherwise, there are other locations, Mass Ave and College, and there's one down in Bloomington as well, and some of those will be opening as well, but they're all open for curbside, so give them a call. Todd's top takes, well, I would always start off with the wings with the hot barbecue sauce, and then I always kind of toggle between the Chicago combo, which is a sausage and Italian beef mixture. Any burger is always good there, and the smoked Reuben as well, so make sure you support not only Fat Dan's, but some of the other local restaurants in your neighborhood as well, and all the restaurants open for business. You can find those at theindychannel.com/open. All right, here's Storm Team 6 radar for you this morning, and we're dealing with some pockets of rainfall currently across the area. Some light rain up in the Lafayette area back towards Crawfordsville. Heavier rainfall now just making its way into the Richmond area, Liberty, East Germantown, up towards Economy, into the Winchester area, and this is actually making its way off towards the northeast. So we are looking at these rain showers and heavier band of rain that'll be pushing into the Newcastle and then eventually into the Muncie area as we get just past the 7 o'clock hour. So you can anticipate that. And then there's some light showers there on the south side of Indianapolis over towards Greenwood as you work your way into Johnson County. And all this rain is backing in from east to west across the area, rotating around an area of low pressure, which is now down to our south. And the showers should become a little more numerous, or the coverage should become greater as we work our way throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. So definitely have the umbrella handy at all times throughout the day today. You will need it. Rainfall totals will range from about a half an inch to an inch to the east, only a tenth to a couple hundredths of an inch off to the north and west. Temperatures right now are in the 50s and 60s across the area with the clouds in place. Temperatures won't do a whole lot throughout the day today. We'll get highs only up to about 65 to 66 degrees, but going forward in this forecast, tomorrow's mostly cloudy, maybe a stray shower, but mostly a dry day for for us at 64 degrees. We're into the 70s on Friday with partly cloudy skies, and then just on cue for the Memorial Day weekend, we're looking at temperatures in the 80s. In fact, mid-80s on Sunday and Monday. With the warmth and a little bit of humidity coming into the forecast, we're talking about the chance of some isolated storms, but right now they mainly look to be those pop-up storms in the afternoon and only right around a 30% chance. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We do have a traffic alert right now out on the roads for drivers on the northeast side. Take a good look at your screen. You can see all of the tail lights there as people are coming to a halt. This is on I-465 and I-69. What we can tell you are multiple vehicles are involved in a crash. Injuries reported here. The right lane of eastbound I-465 is blocked for the cleanup. The off-ramp from southbound I-69 to 465 also partially blocked. That's the area you're looking at right now. So expect delays. Traffic is still getting by on both the ramp and the eastbound lanes, but very slowly past this cleanup. So give yourself some extra time heading through that area. You may even want to reroute if you're heading in from parts of Hamilton County. Maybe take Allisonville Road instead in from the northeast side, because also if you're continuing on Binford Boulevard, we have a crash as well at 62nd Street. So a few slowdowns there for northeast side drivers. We'll continue to keep you updated. Well, they thought they had the perfect plan, but in the end, it did not bear fruit. Next, why one of the bandits is feeling melancholy about his scheme being spoiled. We'll have more on that, plus your forecast coming up after the break.
RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Welcome back. So they thought they had the perfect disguise, but police say some bandits weren't exactly using their melons when they planted the seeds of their own cunning plan.
So this happened in Virginia, so please take a look at this. Police say these two bandits wore hollowed out watermelons on their heads while robbing a gas station. This happened back on May the 5th, but at least one of them did not keep the fruits of his labor. Police say they arrested 20-year-old Justin Roger for robbery and for stealing alcohol. Virginia police say the second melon head is still on the loose. Watch out for a walking melon head.
Oh my goodness, difficult to see there. A punny story from producer Ray. Nothing punny about the forecast though today, Todd. We have rain out there.
No.
Yeah, you know, scattered showers off and on throughout the day, Lauren. You can see radar right now. The showers become more numerous as the day goes on.